few months ago, I caught myself doing something terrifying. I unlocked my phone to check one notification, and somehow 47 minutes disappeared. No memory, no purpose, no satisfaction, just scrolling, video after video, post after post, tiny dopamine hit after tiny dopamine hit. And the worst part, I wasn't even enjoying it anymore. My attention span felt broken. I couldn't focus on work, movies felt slow, books felt impossible. Even things I used to love started feeling boring. It felt like my brain had been trained to expect entertainment every 3 seconds. If you've ever opened Instagram for just a minute and ended up watching a guy pressure wash a driveway in another country, you know exactly what I'm talking about. People call it brain rot, and honestly, that's exactly how it felt. But then something changed. I stopped trying to quit dopamine. Instead, I started replacing cheap dopamine with better dopamine, and these 7 habits slowly pulled me out of that mental fog. The first one sounds almost too simple. Morning sunlight. Not motivation, not productivity hacks. Sunlight. For years, my mornings started with a glowing rectangle. Phone first, life second. Before my feet touched the floor, my brain was already consuming information. But when I started stepping outside for even 5 minutes after waking up, something weird happened. I felt more awake. Not instantly, but naturally. Like my brain finally remembered how mornings were supposed to work. Turns out, your brain loves predictable signals, and sunlight tells it, hey, it's time to be alert. It sounds boring until you realize how powerful boring can be. And that leads to the second habit, delaying dopamine for the first hour of the day. This one was painful. No social media, no YouTube, no endless scrolling. Just me and my thoughts. At first, it felt awful. My brain kept reaching for stimulation, like a dog waiting for a treat. But after a few days, something interesting happened. Ordinary things became interesting again. Coffee tasted better. Music felt richer. Conversations felt less distracting. It's crazy how exciting life becomes when you stop flooding your brain with excitement. Now, here's where things got unexpected. The third habit wasn't consuming less, it was creating more. Writing, drawing, journaling, editing, building, anything. Because consuming dopamine is easy, creating dopamine is earned. And earned dopamine feels different. Think about the difference between watching someone play a game and finally beating a difficult level yourself. Same brain chemical, completely different feeling. That's when I realized something. My brain wasn't addicted to dopamine, it was addicted to convenience. And habit number 4 attacked that problem directly, making distractions harder. I removed apps from my home screen, logged out of social media, turned off most notifications. Nothing dramatic, just enough friction. And friction is surprisingly powerful because most bad habits don't survive inconvenience. You don't need superhuman discipline. Sometimes you just need to make the wrong choice slightly annoying. But here's the habit that changed everything. Walking without headphones. I know, that sounds incredibly boring. That's exactly why it works. For years, every empty moment had to be filled. Music, podcasts, videos, constant input, constant noise. But during these silent walks, my brain finally had space. Ideas appeared, problems got solved, random memories resurfaced. It felt like cleaning a room you forgot existed. Most people aren't afraid of boredom. They're afraid of meeting their own thoughts. And that's exactly why this habit is so powerful. Now let's talk about habit number 6, doing one hard thing every day. Not 10 things, one. One uncomfortable task, one thing you'd rather avoid, one thing that makes you slightly nervous. Sending the email, starting the workout, opening the project, making the phone call. Because every time you do something difficult, your brain learns a new lesson. Effort creates reward. And that's a lesson brain rot slowly erases. The more comfortable life becomes, the harder action feels. This habit reverses that, little by little, day by day. Then came the final habit, and honestly, it's the one most people ignore. Protecting sleep like it's a superpower. Because it kind of is. Think about it. After a terrible night of sleep, what do you crave? Junk food, scrolling, easy entertainment, instant gratification. Everything becomes harder. Focus drops, willpower disappears. Your brain starts looking for the fastest dopamine available. Sleep isn't just recovery, it's dopamine management. And once I started treating it seriously, everything else became easier. Not perfect, just easier. Now here's the funny thing. None of these habits are revolutionary. You won't see people posting them with dramatic music and a Lamborghini in the background. Because they aren't exciting, they're effective. And that's the difference. Brain rot thrives on excitement. Recovery thrives on consistency. The truth is, your brain isn't broken. It's adapting to whatever you repeatedly give it. Give it endless stimulation, and normal life starts feeling dull. Give it space, challenge, effort, and recovery, and something amazing happens. Normal life becomes interesting again. You start enjoying simple things. You focus longer. You think clearer. You feel present. And one day, you'll notice something strange. You'll put your phone down and not immediately reach for it again. Not because you're forcing yourself, not because you're using discipline, but because, for the first time in a long time, real life feels more rewarding than the feed.